basketball fans, still talking Raptors brand basketball. One guy who's relished his time here in Toronto, I think it's 12 games. He's averaged better than 20 points in each and every game. He's shooting better than almost 50% from the field. Let's talk about RJ Barrett and how he's impacted this group. We'll start with you, Randy. Were you surprised to see the shift in RJ after being moved from New York?
Well, I think what people talked about RJ was a bit of a shot hunter, which, I think for certain groups that actually is beneficial. It's when to hunt and when to be aggressive is the thing. And I noticed that early on in his Raptor career, there were 3 or 4 possessions where you kind of were like, oh, maybe pull that one back a little bit. Maybe don't take on 3 guys. But I feel like I've seen a real decrease in those possessions over the last 3 or 4 games. And I'm really impressed with his compete level, his desire to get to the bucket. I like guys that want to go score. The purpose of the game is to score more points than the other team. And so when I watch him, put the onus on himself to get a bucket, left or right, I saw him score right-handed yesterday, which was great. I get excited because
that was you, sure.
I don't want to say that he's better than I thought, but he's certainly playing more consistently than I thought he would play.
I'll say this. RJ, to me, has shown a few things that's been impressive. Number one, he's in attack mode in a very smart way.
Yeah.
And to me, when you get to see him play every day, you realize how he attacks, and you see the different ways he attacks. The other thing is, I like the fact that he's shooting the ball from 3 better. He's getting that shot. He's set. He's shooting with confidence. And, it's going to be an up and down ride, but he can shoot the 3, and he keeps you honest from there.
I think he's got to be open and his feet set, right? I don't think RJ should be shooting contested threes as much.
Definitely not off the dribble, but you're not going to get a lot of open threes.
But you're right.
Well.
When he gets he gets space, time and space.
And the other thing is, his movement off the ball, offensively,
100%. Yeah.
It's very good. And it might go unnoticed a bit. All of a sudden, he pops up for a layup. But his timing, his ability to recognize what the defense is doing and then get into the creases and those seams of the defense to present himself, it's still a part of a scorer's mentality.
Yeah.
But he does it off the ball as well. And I think that, to me, is something that, in coming to Toronto, might have been underrated that he could do at this level so consistently. He does a great job. And defensively, you notice that he's on the toughest check perimeter-wise. Mm-hmm. And obviously, that might not be his best situation, but Darko's putting him there because he feels that he can do that job.
He's issued a challenge.
And he's physical, and he's tough, and he's going to stay in the fight. And I think when you're looking at a guy who can do those things, you're looking at both sides of the basketball, and as we get to see him more, I think we're going to appreciate more of the value that he brings in all those areas.
And he runs the floor.
Okay. Scorers do.
Runs the floor,
Scorers
man.
do. Easy buckets.
Yeah.
And he gets to the free throw line.
100%.
I just want to interrupt and give a shout out to Metrolinx, who's currently still building that subway system.
For you.
For me, yes. I'm a subway guy underneath us right now. So if you do hear a little extra noise, that's Metrolinx in action. But let's talk about the missing man right now for the Toronto Raptors, and that's the center, Jakob Poeltl, who was sorely missed against Memphis. And we take a look at the numbers. Raptors' defensive rating with and without, and it speaks volumes to the value of Jakob. Sherm, I'll start with you. Knowing that this young group is trying to find itself, how much of a security blanket is he going to be for them as they find their identity, not just on the offensive side, but really on the defensive side?
Well, when you think about Jakob Poeltl, you don't think about a defensive stopper at the rim, but what you do think of is size at the basket. You think of a guy who can think his way defensively, communicate on the back end. He can block shots. He can alter shots. And I think the fact that you have, when he's healthy, he's engaged defensively. That might be the biggest thing. Rotating properly, presenting himself as a defensive resistance. That's something that you need. And without him there, the defense on the perimeter kind of gets softer.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get up into people if you don't think anybody's back there to help. And when you play softer defense in this league, either you're giving up threes or you're giving up drives. And I think we're seeing that happen to the Raptors. And when they're giving up the bucket, there's nobody back there to alter the shot or block the rim. So Jakob's important.
Yeah, the roster has very little size.
100%. And Jakob's very important. And like I said, not a defensive stopper, but a defensive guy who will help your team anchor the defensive end.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most unselfish players in the NBA. And when you have that offensively, it's great for everybody because he gets everybody involved. And you're right, defensively, he just knows how to play.
Absolutely.
Right? He just knows in what spot to be and when. And that's so valuable, especially with guys. He cleans up a lot of messes, guys getting, beat off the dribble from the point of attack at the top of the key. Or, he's able to shut those possessions off or at least alter them where you can kind of recover. You're right. He's going to block some shots, but he's not going to be, Dikembe Mutombo waving a finger in somebody's face. But this guy knows how to play basketball. He's learned under Greg Popovich. He was here as a Raptor. It's funny because people were talking about him negatively, the fans, earlier on in the season.
No, he can play. He can really play.
This guy you need a guy like this on your team.
And I will say this, we talked about the offensive inconsistencies. Remember, Jakob's a very good passer as a big.
Point center.
He's a good screen and roll guy. He can roll to the bucket, short roll. He can spread it out. He can move the ball off the screen and roll. So on both ends of the floor, they miss him. It's not just the defensive end like that board showed. Offensively, he's very good at facilitating or scoring around the basket.
All right, right now we got to check in with the players. Let's check in with the Toronto Raptors post-game.
How much are you excited about the idea of Darko over the next few days with practice, taking some of the stuff that did work in New York and giving you even more packages within the Raptors offense?
I think it helps, and for sure, just with our offense that we have here, me being able to get downhill, like you said, tonight I scored the ball, but for the most part, it's just been trying to make reads, trying to make the best reads available. Tonight I was able to get all the way to the cup a lot of times, so I took that. But, a game like New York, they came in and I hit Grady for a couple threes last game, just trying to make the right plays and see how the teams are guarding me, how they're guarding us, and just try to adjust based off of that.